The coronavirus has taken its toll over the United States and the world. We wake up every morning hoping it was a bad dream, but similar to months and years following 9/11, restrictions, social distancing, pivoting, and reduced capacity will most likely be the norm for the next few years. Driving during the time of COVID is no different. Young drivers who found it hard to navigate the roads before the pandemic will have a more difficult time now, having to be mindful of pandemic restrictions as well as the usual rules of the road. Today, we will examine several different aspects of driving during the pandemic, some unique views about life after COVID, and how it will affect our new drivers and the transportation industry as a whole. We hope you enjoy.
This past year has been a year unlike any other due to the coronavirus. As we start moving back to a new normal, let's not forget some important rules about driving. One major issue on the roads is drunk driving, also known as driving under the influence. Drunk driving takes many lives every year, and now that more drivers are returning to the roads, here's some important statistics regarding drunk driving and how we can change them. Almost 28 people die from drunk driving per day, and this is an alarming number that needs to be lowered. While states such as California, Florida, and Washington have experienced lower amounts of driving under the influence arrests, we have to maintain these decreases in drunk driving incidents. Many people have turned to alcohol as a result of quarantining during the pandemic, but we need to remember to stay sober. By taking many precautions, we can prevent more deaths from driving under the influence, lower the numbers, and through this, we can save more lives. With NHS TV, I'm Gianni Fracco, reminding you to stay safe and drive sober.
Many people's to-do list once the pandemic is over is to finally travel again. While there are still many restrictions in place to keep people safe, vaccinated people now have more freedom to travel. However, the CDC still recommends that even if vaccinated, you should still opt for safer travel options like driving to keep those who aren't vaccinated out of risk. The safest form of travel at the moment is road trips with members of your household, and if you must fly, taking shorter flights with no stops or layovers. The CDC also has suggestions on how to stay safe if staying at hotels, going camping, and traveling by train or bus. It will still be some time until people can vacation normally again, but for now it is becoming much safer, and with more and more people getting vaccinated, traveling is becoming much more possible. I'm Julia Resnick with NHS TV.
Hi, this is Caitlin Gavidia from NHSTV, here to speak on maintaining COVID safety while driving. As certain restrictions are being pulled away, with the vaccine steadily rolling out, it's important now, more than ever, that safety is kept as a priority. This way, we can get back to some sort of normalcy, especially with summer just around the corner. Health experts are recommending to avoid driving with others outside of your household in order to help decrease the spread of COVID-19. Certain states, such as Michigan, have gone to the extent of placing a state order that allows for travel, and I quote, for the limited purposes of engaging in an outdoor activity and performing the tasks necessary to maintaining an individual's or family's health and safety, such as going to the hospital or grocery store, end quote. New Jersey has also implemented a similar strategy by continuing to strongly discourage all unvaccinated individuals from engaging in non-essential interstate travel at this time. Traveling longer distances by car is not advisable unless it is of a more urgent nature. If it is far enough that it requires you to refuel or stop for food, it will become difficult to practice social distancing and could put you or others at risk. The biggest thing for individuals to keep in mind is the advice to maintain social distancing, keep it close to home, and keep your car clean. Following these precautions will help keep us all safe and assist in flattening the curve. Safe travels to all, and for NHS TV, I'm Caitlin Gavidia.
Distracted driving is dangerous, claiming 3,166 lives in 2018 alone. The National Highway Transportation Association, NHTSA, leads the national effort to save lives by preventing this dangerous behavior. During this time of COVID, it is more important than ever to get the facts, get involved, and help us keep America's roads safe during this trying time. Distracted driving is any activity that diverts attention from driving, including talking or texting on your phone, eating and drinking, talking to people in your vehicle, fiddling with the stereo, entertainment, or navigation system. Anything that takes your attention away from the task of safe driving. Texting is the most alarming distraction. Sending or reading a text that takes your eyes off the road for 5 seconds at 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the length of an entire football field with your eyes closed. You cannot drive safely unless the task of driving has your full attention. Any non-driving activity you engage in is a potential distraction and increases your risk of crashing. In 2018 alone, 3,166 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. 6% of all drivers involved in fatal crashes were reported as distracted at the time of the crashes. Last year, the percentage actually went down due to less drivers on the road, but during a normal year, 8% of drivers 15 to 19 years old involved in fatal crashes were reported as distracted. In 2018, there were 599 non-occupants, pedestrians, bicyclists, and others killed in distraction-affected crashes. Passengers distract a teen driver who should be focused only on the road, increasing the likelihood of a crash.
If you use Uber, you may be aware of the changes they made due to COVID. Masks are required for both the driver and the passenger. Uber.com stated if you ever feel unsafe or if a rider is not wearing a face covering or mask, you can cancel the trip and report it to Uber's support team by selecting no face cover or mask as your cancellation reason. And both riders and drivers who are repeatedly flagged for not wearing a face covering will lose access to the app. They also say you should definitely stay home if you feel any symptoms and get tested immediately. To limit exposure, some people recommend alternatives to using this service. But if it is necessary in the moment, be safe. This was Nora Janikian reporting for NHS TV on Raiders Ride Safe.
Today, I will be touching on the measures that have been put upon the border to further prevent risk and limit the spread of the COVID-19 virus. The measures that have been discussed include rendering any non-essential travel to be prohibited. However, local trade commerce activities and economic supply chain across borders will still be allowed. In addition, it is said that the economy will not be affected by this order. Other essential traveling that allows individuals to cross the border include any medical purposes, if travel is required to attend educational institutions, a needed emergency response, and individuals engaged in lawful cross-border trade.
Hi, I am Nora Janikian, and we are going to be asking my guest a few questions. What are some distractions for young drivers?
For young drivers, they can be distracted by their phone, their music, or their friends who are loud in the car. I know talking to your friends sometimes can distract you from the road. And then, other cars that are coming at you, or, maybe stoplights, stop signs, things that can, take your eyes off the road.
How has COVID impacted you as far as getting your license?
It didn't impact me, because luckily my birthday was before that. But I know a couple of my friends, the DMV closed right around the time they were getting their license, so everything was pushed back. And then for people that just turned 16, who have to do their 6 hours, it was hard to get, a teacher who could take you driving because you can't drive in a car with someone that's close to you. So for them, it was hard.
How can you make the roads safe for other drivers during the pandemic?
Well, during the pandemic, there's not a lot of people on the roads, so you could see yourself, driving faster or getting distracted going on your phone. So maybe, put your phone away or monitor your speed limit so that you're not going as fast with less people on the road.
When the pandemic is behind us, what can you do to make our roads safer?
I definitely think learning from, the pandemic and driving with no one on the road, there's gonna be more traffic. So monitoring while the pandemic was going on, after it should make it a lot easier driving.
Thanks for your honesty. A little caution goes a long way. This is Nora Janikian for Raiders Ride Safe.
Establish rules with your team about who could ride with them and how many people they can have in their car at one time. So wear your mask, make sure your windows are partially open, stop the spread, and limit the number of passengers in your car.